In this video, you'll learn how to adjust the blending mode and opacity of a text layer to create more interesting, polished results in your composition. We'll go step by step, keeping things simple and clear so you can follow along even if you're fairly new to this. First, make sure you've already created or imported the text you want to work with. Once your composition is open and you can see your layers in the timeline, start by selecting your text layer. You can do this by clicking directly on the text in the composition panel or by clicking its name in the timeline panel on the left side. You'll know it's selected when the layer highlights and the bounding box appears around your text. Now we're going to work with blending modes, which control how your text layer interacts with the layers beneath it. Look at the timeline panel where your layers are listed. You should see columns such as the layer name, switches, and maybe track mats. What we're interested in is the modes column. If you don't see a column labeled modes, look at the very bottom of the timeline panel for a button called toggle switches modes. Click that button once. This swaps the view so that the modes column becomes visible. Once the modes column is showing, find your selected text layer in the list. To the right of the layer name in the modes column, you'll see a drop-down menu that probably says something like normal. This is the default blending mode, which means the layer is displayed without any special interaction with the layers underneath. Click where it says normal to open the list of blending modes. Here, you'll see a variety of options such as overlay, soft light, multiply, screen, and many others. Each of these modes changes the way the colors and brightness of your text mix with the background. For example, if you choose multiply, your text will generally darken and blend into the background, which works well when you want text to sit naturally over lighter footage or graphics. If you select screen, the opposite happens. Your text lightens and blends with darker areas, which can be useful for adding text over dark footage without making it look too heavy. Overlay and soft light both combine contrast and brightness in different ways, often used to give a more stylized or cinematic look. Overlay tends to be stronger and more contrasted, while soft light is gentler and more subtle. Take a bit of time to click through different modes and watch how your text changes over the background. This is one of the easiest ways to get a feel for what each mode does. Don't worry about memorizing them all at once, just focus on how the look changes so you can pick what feels right for your project. After you've chosen a blending mode you like, you can refine the result by adjusting the opacity of the text layer. With the text layer still selected, look near the top of the timeline or in the transform properties for a control labeled opacity. If you don't see it, you can press the T key on your keyboard to reveal the opacity setting for the selected layer. You'll see a percentage value, usually starting at 100%. Click and drag on the value or type in a new number to lower the opacity. Reducing this to something like 80% or 60% can create a more subtle blend, letting more of the background show through while keeping your text readable. Small adjustments here can make a big difference, so try moving the slider slowly and watching the result in the composition panel. By combining a suitable blending mode with a carefully chosen opacity level, you can transform simple text into something that integrates naturally with your background, whether you're working over video, graphics, or a solid color. Experiment until you find a look that matches the style of your project, and remember that you can always come back and tweak these settings later as your design evolves.